You know, it's a funny thing about getting older. We celebrate milestones, talk about enjoying retirement, and plan for our golden years. But when we start talking about what life is really like after 80, especially the parts that gnaw at us late at night, a hush falls. It's as if admitting to certain anxieties is a sign of weakness. Or worse, a jinx. We often put on a brave face, don't we? But beneath that cheerful exterior, there are deeply human worries, real fears that many of us carry in silence, believing we're alone in them. The truth is, these aren't just small concerns. They're significant anxieties that can chip away at our peace of mind and even our sense of who we are. They're the fears that no one brings up at the dinner table, the ones we push down because they feel too heavy, too personal, or just too inevitable to discuss. Yet, ignoring them doesn't make them disappear. In fact, it often gives them more power, letting them quietly erode our dignity and joy. Imagine carrying a heavy weight on your shoulders day after day, without ever acknowledging it or asking for help. That's what it feels like to hold on to these unspoken fears. But what if we could shine a light on them? What if understanding them was the first step to disarming them? What if facing them, head on, with wisdom and foresight, was the very key to protecting our most precious assets, our peace, and our dignity in this video? We're going to gently pull back the curtain on the 5 biggest fears seniors often face after 80. The ones that are rarely talked about. More importantly, we'll explore practical, compassionate ways to navigate these anxieties, not just to cope, but to truly protect your peace and preserve your dignity through every chapter of life. So, settle in, because you'll want to watch to the very end for something that will truly surprise you. Let's begin with the first of these unspoken fears, one that often starts as a quiet whisper in the back of our minds and can grow into a roaring concern: the fear of losing independence and control. This isn't just about physical ability, though that's certainly a part of it. It's about the deeper worry of losing the capacity to make your own choices, to manage your own affairs, to live life on your own terms. It's the fear of someone else deciding when you eat, where you live, or even what clothes you wear. For many of us, our entire adult lives have been defined by our autonomy, our ability to direct our own path. The thought of that being taken away, or even slowly eroding, can be terrifying. We see friends or family members who have had to give up driving, move into assisted living, or rely entirely on others, and a chill runs down our spine. Will that be me? Will I lose my voice, my choices, my very self? This fear stems from a very real place. As we age, physical changes are inevitable. Our bodies might not move as easily as they once did. Our vision might dim. Our hearing might falter. These changes can indeed impact our ability to do things independently, from driving to cooking to managing finances. The important thing here is to recognize that independence isn't an all-or-nothing proposition. It's a spectrum, and protecting your peace and dignity in the face of these changes involves proactive planning and a shift in perspective. First, consider the power of proactive discussions. Many people avoid talking about their future care preferences because it feels like admitting defeat or inviting the very thing they fear. But open, honest conversations with your family or trusted friends about your wishes for future living arrangements, medical care, and financial management can be incredibly liberating. Documenting these preferences through things like an advance directive or a power of attorney ensures that your voice is heard, even if you're no longer able to speak for yourself. It's not about giving up control. It's about exercising control over what might happen. This thoughtful preparation is a profound act of self-care and a gift to your loved ones, easing their burden and ensuring your dignity is upheld. Beyond legal documents, think about adapting your environment. Simple home modifications, like grab bars in the bathroom, better lighting, or decluttering pathways, can significantly extend your ability to live safely and independently in your own home. Technologies, from smart speakers that can help you make calls or get information, to personal alert systems, can offer an extra layer of security and reduce anxieties about falls or emergencies. Embracing these tools isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign of wisdom, of understanding how to leverage resources to maintain your comfort and safety. Furthermore, maintaining physical activity, even gentle exercises like walking, stretching, or chair yoga, plays a crucial role in preserving mobility and strength, which in turn supports independence. It's about small, consistent efforts that add up over time. Don't underestimate the power of even a 10-minute walk each day, or simple exercises to keep your joints supple. These aren't just about physical health. They're about maintaining a sense of agency and confidence in your own body. Remember, peace comes from knowing you've done what you can, and dignity from living as fully as possible within your circumstances. If the time comes when more support is needed, accepting help gracefully, understanding it as a partnership rather than a surrender, is key. It's about adapting, not giving up. Finding the balance between self-reliance and accepting support is a journey, and approaching it with an open mind can lead to unexpected resilience and a deeper sense of security. Now, that brings us to our next quiet fear, one that often intertwines with the first. This second fear is closely linked to the first, yet it carries its own unique emotional weight, the fear of becoming a burden. This is a deep-seated worry, often rooted in a lifetime of self-sufficiency and a desire to contribute. We've spent years, perhaps decades, raising families, working, volunteering, and taking care of others. The thought of reversing that role, of needing constant care, financial assistance, or emotional support from our children or other loved ones, can be profoundly unsettling. We don't want to disrupt their lives, drain their resources, or add to their stress. This fear isn't about selfishness. It's born from love and a desire to protect those we cherish from difficulty. We've seen the toll it can take on caregivers, the exhaustion, the financial strain, the emotional weariness, and the last thing we want is to impose that on our own family. It's a silent pact we make with ourselves. I don't want to be a problem. But here's the often overlooked truth: your children and loved ones usually want to help. They genuinely want to ensure your well-being and comfort. And for many, it's an expression of their love and gratitude for all you've done for them. The fear of being a burden can sometimes create a barrier, preventing open communication and preventing them from offering the help they're eager to give. So, how do we navigate this fear while preserving our peace and dignity? The first step is to redefine what it means to be a burden. Instead of seeing it as a drain, consider it an opportunity for reciprocity, for your loved ones to express their care for you, just as you cared for them. It's a natural part of the human life cycle, a cycle of giving and receiving. Practically, this means initiating conversations about your future wishes and resources. Have you considered long-term care insurance, even if it's not an option now? Understanding what resources you do have, whether it's savings, pensions, or other assets, and discussing them with a trusted family member or financial advisor can alleviate a lot of future worry. Knowing what's available can create a roadmap, not a burden. Another key strategy is to explore support options that aren't solely reliant on family. Home care services, community programs, meal delivery services, or even local volunteer networks can provide significant assistance, reducing the direct load on family members and allowing them to focus on quality time rather than caregiving tasks. This isn't about outsourcing love. It's about building a robust support system that allows everyone to thrive. It shows foresight and a desire to ease the path for everyone, including yourself. Furthermore, recognize the value of your continued presence and wisdom. Even if your physical capabilities change, your emotional and intellectual contributions remain invaluable. Sharing stories, offering advice, listening, and simply being there for your loved ones can be a profound gift. One that far outweighs any perceived burden of care. Your dignity is preserved not by never needing help, but by how you navigate those needs. It's about accepting support with grace, expressing gratitude, and continuing to engage with life and your relationships as fully as possible. It's about understanding that interdependence is a natural, beautiful part of life, not a failure of independence. When you shift your perspective, you discover that accepting help, when needed, allows for a deeper connection with those who love you, fostering mutual respect and understanding. And it leads us to our third profound, yet often unspoken, fear. Our third fear, which can be particularly poignant for those over 80, is the fear of loneliness and social isolation. As we age, our social circles can naturally shrink. Friends may move away, become ill, or pass on. Family members might be geographically distant or busy with their own lives. Mobility issues or health challenges can make it harder to get out and connect. The quiet hum of an empty house, the lack of spontaneous conversations, the feeling of being out of sync with the faster pace of the modern world, these can all contribute to a profound sense of isolation. This isn't just about missing social events. It's about the deep human need for connection, for belonging, for someone to share a laugh with, or a quiet moment. It's the fear of being forgotten, of having no one to turn to, and of spending your final years feeling profoundly alone. This fear is especially painful because humans are fundamentally social creatures. We thrive on connection. When that connection diminishes, it can impact our emotional well-being, our mental sharpness, and even our physical health. Studies have shown that loneliness can be as detrimental to health as smoking. So, how do we proactively combat this pervasive fear and protect our peace and dignity in the process? The answer lies in intentional connection and embracing new ways to build community. First, consider how you can maintain existing relationships, even if you can't meet in person often. Regular phone calls, video chats, or even sending letters or cards can keep bonds strong. Be the one to reach out. Even if it feels difficult sometimes, a simple call to a friend you haven't spoken to in a while can make both your days brighter. Don't wait to be invited. Be the inviter. Second, actively seek out new connections. This might feel daunting, but opportunities abound. Look for local senior centers, community groups, or clubs focused on hobbies you enjoy, whether it's reading, gardening, knitting, or a specific type of art. Many libraries host book clubs or lectures, and community centers often have exercise classes or social gatherings specifically for older adults. Even if you're not a joiner by nature, attending just 1 or 2 events can open doors. Remember, these groups are filled with people who are also looking for connection. Online communities can also be a wonderful resource. Platforms like Facebook groups for specific interests or online forums for seniors can provide a sense of camaraderie and belonging, especially if mobility is an issue. You can connect with people from all over the world who share your passions or life experiences. Third, consider the power of intergenerational connections. Spending time with younger family members, like grandchildren or great-grandchildren, can bring immense joy and a fresh perspective if family is distant. Look for opportunities to connect with younger generations in your community. Perhaps by volunteering at a school, mentoring, or simply striking up conversations with younger people in your neighborhood. There's so much wisdom you have to share, and many young people are eager to learn and connect. Finally, consider pets. A companion animal can provide unconditional love, companionship, and a sense of purpose. Walking a dog, for example, can also be a natural way to meet other people in your neighborhood. Protecting your dignity in the face of loneliness isn't about pretending it doesn't exist, but about actively seeking out human connection in whatever forms feel comfortable and meaningful to you. It's about remembering your inherent value and refusing to let isolation define your later years. And now we come to our fourth fear, one that often feels particularly cruel. Our fourth significant fear, often whispered in hushed tones, is the fear of cognitive decline, the worry of losing one's memory, sharp mind, or sense of self. This is a profound anxiety because our minds are so central to our identity, our ability to engage with the world, and our relationships. The thought of forgetting loved ones, losing the capacity for conversation, or no longer being able to recall cherished memories can be truly terrifying. We see friends or public figures grappling with dementia, and a cold dread can set in. Will that happen to me? Will I lose myself before I lose my body? This fear is not only about the potential loss of mental faculties, but also the associated loss of dignity and the inability to participate fully in life, as one once did. It's the fear of being seen as less than, of becoming a shell of one's former self. While some cognitive decline is a normal part of aging, and conditions like Alzheimer's are complex, there are many proactive steps we can take to support our brain health and alleviate this fear. The key is to understand that our brains, like our bodies, thrive on stimulation and care. First, prioritize mental engagement. Keep your brain active and challenged. Learn a new skill, whether it's a language, playing a musical instrument, painting, or even mastering a new complex board game. Read widely and engage in discussions about what you've read. Work on puzzles like crosswords, Sudoku, or jigsaw puzzles. These activities create new neural pathways and help maintain cognitive flexibility. The brain is like a muscle. Use or lose it. Make learning a lifelong habit, not something that stops when school does. Second, diet plays a surprisingly significant role in brain health. Focus on a diet rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins, similar to the Mediterranean diet. Foods high in antioxidants, like berries, leafy greens, and nuts, can help protect brain cells. Omega-3 fatty acids, found in fatty fish like salmon, are particularly beneficial for brain function. Limit processed foods, excessive sugar, and unhealthy fats. Think of your brain as a high-performance engine that needs the right kind of fuel to run smoothly. Hydration is also crucial. Even mild dehydration can affect concentration and memory. Third, physical activity is as important for your brain as it is for your body. Regular exercise increases blood flow to the brain, which delivers oxygen and nutrients essential for brain health. It can also reduce inflammation and stimulate the growth of new brain cells. You don't need to run marathons. Even a brisk walk for 30 minutes most days of the week can make a significant difference. Try to incorporate balance exercises and activities that require coordination, like dancing or Tai Chi. As these engage multiple brain regions, a healthy body supports a healthy mind. Fourth, get enough quality sleep. Sleep is when your brain does its crucial housekeeping, consolidating memories and clearing out toxins. Chronic sleep deprivation can negatively impact cognitive function. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of restful sleep per night. If you struggle with sleep, consult your doctor. Addressing issues like sleep apnea or insomnia can have a profound positive impact on your cognitive health. Finally, manage stress and nurture your emotional well-being. Chronic stress can damage brain cells over time. Practice mindfulness, meditation, or spend time in nature. Maintain strong social connections. As we discussed, because social interaction is a powerful brain booster, protecting your dignity in the face of this fear means taking proactive steps to nurture your brain, maintaining hope, and living each day with intention, knowing you are doing your utmost to preserve your most precious resource. And this brings us to our final, and perhaps most profound, fear. The fifth and perhaps most profound fear that many seniors face after 80, though rarely articulated, is the fear of a painful or undignified end of life. This isn't just about the inevitable reality of death, but the specific anxieties around how that end might unfold. It's the worry about prolonged suffering, the loss of control over one's body and basic functions, being dependent on machines, or experiencing a lonely and isolated passing in a sterile environment. We cherish our independence and our ability to make choices, and the thought of losing these in our final moments, of becoming unable to communicate our wishes or control our own comfort, can be deeply unsettling. It's a fear of losing peace and dignity at the very moment we might need it most. This fear is incredibly human, and acknowledging it is the first step toward finding peace. The key to protecting your peace and dignity in this context lies in proactive planning, open communication, and understanding the resources available to support a compassionate end-of-life journey. First and foremost, engage in conversations about your end-of-life wishes. This might sound morbid, but it is one of the most empowering things you can do. Talk to your loved ones, your doctor, and perhaps a trusted advisor about what a good death looks like to you. Do you want to be at home? Do you prefer certain medical interventions or wish to avoid others? These conversations are not about giving up. They are about taking control and ensuring your voice is heard right to the very end. Secondly, formalize these wishes through legal documents. An advance directive, often called a living will, allows you to state your preferences for medical treatment in various scenarios. A durable power of attorney for healthcare designates a trusted person to make medical decisions on your behalf if you become unable to. These documents are vital tools for preserving your autonomy and dignity. They ensure that your wishes are respected, alleviating the burden of difficult decisions from your family and providing you with the comfort of knowing your preferences will be honored. It is a profound act of self-care and love for your family. Third, explore the option of hospice and palliative care. These services are often misunderstood as only for the very last days of life, but they are so much more. Palliative care focuses on providing relief from the symptoms and stress of a serious illness, with the goal of improving quality of life for both the patient and the family. It can be provided at any stage of a serious illness. Hospice care is specifically for those with a life expectancy of 6 months or less, and it shifts the focus from curative treatment to comfort and quality of life. Both hospice and palliative care emphasize pain management, emotional and spiritual support, and support for families. They can help ensure a more peaceful, comfortable, and dignified end-of-life experience, often in the comfort of your own home, surrounded by loved ones. Learning about these options and discussing them with your doctor can significantly reduce anxiety. Finally, cultivate spiritual or philosophical peace. For many, finding comfort in their faith, spirituality, or a personal philosophy about life and death can be a profound source of solace. Whether it's through prayer, meditation, spending time in nature, or simply reflecting on your life's journey, nurturing your inner peace can help you face the unknown with greater serenity. Remembering the value of your life, the connections you've made, and the legacy you leave behind can transform fear into acceptance and even a sense of completion. Protecting your dignity in the face of this ultimate fear is about ensuring your final chapter reflects your values, is supported by love, and is as peaceful as possible. It's about living fully, even when contemplating the end. So, we've talked about the fear of losing independence, the worry of becoming a burden, the pang of loneliness, the anxiety of cognitive decline, and the profound concern about a painful or undignified end. These are deep, real human fears, aren't they? And for too long, they've been kept in the shadows, unaddressed and unspoken. But as we've explored, acknowledging them, bringing them into the light, is not a weakness. It's a profound act of strength and self-love. We've seen that for each of these anxieties. There are practical steps you can take, not to eliminate the fear entirely, but to manage it, to prepare, and most importantly, to protect your peace and your dignity. It's about proactive planning, open communication with loved ones, embracing support systems, nurturing your mind and body, and fostering spiritual peace. Remember, every step you take, however small, to address these concerns is an investment in your future well-being and a testament to your resilience. You are not alone in these feelings. Millions of people share these unspoken anxieties. By talking about them, we reduce their power and open the door to solutions and support. Small changes truly can make a big difference to your health, your happiness, and your serenity in later life. This journey of aging is filled with both challenges and immense opportunities for growth, wisdom, and deeper connections. And here's the surprise I promised you. Something that might shift your perspective entirely. The greatest peace and dignity in later life often comes not from avoiding these fears, but from facing them with wisdom, courage, and self-compassion. The surprising truth is that when you actively plan for these potential challenges, when you openly communicate your wishes, and when you embrace the support of your community and loved ones, you don't just reduce fear, you unlock a profound sense of freedom. You realize that you have far more control over your peace and dignity than you ever imagined. It's a freedom that allows you to live more fully in the present, knowing you've done your utmost to prepare for the future. It allows you to transform what might have been a source of quiet dread into an affirmation of your agency, your value, and your enduring spirit. Your peace is your power, and your dignity is your birthright. So, what are your thoughts? Have you experienced any of these fears, or perhaps others that you feel are unspoken? Share your insights and experiences in the comments below. Your story could be the very thing someone else needs to hear. If this video resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps us reach more people who might benefit from this conversation. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more helpful content designed to empower you to live your best life at every age. Remember, you have the strength, the wisdom, and the right to protect your peace and dignity. Every single day, live your best life at every age.